Okay, everybody, can we start the video? Okay, come, let's all start the video and okay, let's start the lesson now. Okay, so Jareen and Caleb. Okay. All right, Serena, Suran, okay, Mingxian, Yoke, and Karina, Philip, Yvette, Abigail. Okay, and all right, Abigail, ready? Yvette and Li Wen. Okay, now the lesson today is going to be quite not very hard. All right, it's quite a simple lesson. Okay, also next week we will have a break. Okay, so after the lesson today, we will take a break, and then next week, what do? We will continue with our paper 1 lesson. Okay, also one more thing is we may not be doing the 2021 papers. All right, we will be doing the 2019. Okay, so our paper 1 will be 2019. The prelim, okay, the prelim 2019 papers. Because why? Because 2020 and 2021, some of the topics are not tested. Okay, so that's why you won't see a lot of topics inside. So we have to do the earlier SM papers in order to cover all the topics that will be tested. Okay, all right. Okay, let's start with question 1. Okay, let's look at question 1. And let's begin. So once again, if there's any question, you can ask me after the lesson. All right. So just put a marking there, right? Put a question mark there if you don't know, if you need to ask me anything. Okay. Question 1: round off the decimal to the nearest 10. Now, nearest 10 means 1 decimal place. So how do you round off to 1 decimal place? You just have to draw a line. Okay, draw a line to show how a 1 decimal place look like. It look like this. So look at the digit nearest the line. Is it 5 or bigger? Is 5 and bigger, right? So you add 1 on the next digit. So your nearest 1 decimal place is 21.4. So answer should be number 4. Okay, yep. Okay, question number 2, your 4 operations. So you do the important thing first. What is the most important operation? There is a plus, there's a divide and times. So this is a divide, so you must do first. So 6 plus 4 and then times 2. Okay, and then what do you do next? You do the times first. And then you have 6 plus 8, and you get 14. So your answer is 14. So for this question, you must do step by step. All right, so don't do everything in one step, do step by step. Okay, okay, Janelle, you have to mute your background because you can hear some noise from your background. Okay, question 3. Yeah, Caleb, you raise your hand, Caleb.
Like question 2, I took the divide, it looked like a plus to me, so I put option 4.
Oh, okay, if you put you mean the first one is like a plus? So Caleb, you mean the first one is a plus, or you think it's a divide?
Oh, okay, sorry, my mistake.
Okay, so nothing wrong. So let's go on to the question number 3. Okay, which of the following is closest to the reading? Okay, Janelle, you have to mute your background, Janelle. Okay, so which of the following is closest to the reading? So you need to count the gaps. And every time you do the paper 1, you have to be careful that you don't look at what the students are doing. Okay, hang on for a while. Let me just, okay, yeah. Okay, so look at the number line and you must count the gaps and okay, and don't look at the students writing because sometimes the students writing can be wrong. Okay, so how many gaps are there? So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you have 8 gaps or 8 units. And how big is 8 gaps? You take 40 minus 36, that'll be 4. Okay, so what is 1 gap? So 1 gap will be 4 divided by 8 and not 8 divided by 4. So how to not get confused by what divided by what? You do this way, okay? 8 divided by 8, you get 1. So the other side will be 4 divided by 8. Then you will not get confused whether it's 4 divided by 8 or 8 divided by 4. So 4 divided by 8 is actually half, all right? 4 divided by 8, which is also 0.5, okay? Then you start counting lah. Okay, so you start counting. 36 and a half, 37. So this is 37, 37 and a half, this is 38. And then 38 and a half, and this is 39. Okay, all right. So you can see that the error is between 30, the error is what? The error is quite near to 38.5. Okay, the error is more than 38.5 and less than 39. Okay, so if the error is more than 38.5, then this is wrong, right? And this is also wrong because the error is more than 38.5 and it has to be less than 39. So number 4 is also wrong. So what is the closest reading, which is 38.6. So the closest reading is 38.6. Okay, clear so far? All right, Ashley, Jordan, start your video. All right, so it's very important that you must start your video. Okay, let's go to the next one. Question number 4. Okay, Anson, once you're inside, start your video already. Now, express 25 seconds as a fraction of 2 minutes. So how do you get your fraction when you see the word express? The numerator is the first number, which is 25 seconds, and you will need to change the minutes into seconds. So 60 times 2, 120 seconds. So when you write your fraction, the numerator, everything must be in all seconds, must all be the same. Okay, now 25 over 120. Now, if you're not very careful, okay, and if you do mental sums, you will be very quick to write down 1/8 if you do mental sums. And Mr. Ong also did that, right? Mr. Ong was doing this a few days ago, and I also made a careless mistake because mental sum, not very good. All right, my mental sum is actually not very good, and you should not do mental sums. You should actually show the working, all right, show the working, and don't do mental sum because you will see that the answer is quite different. Right, so what do you get? 5 over 24 and not 1/8. Some of you put down 1/8 because you thought when you divide is 1/8, but it's wrong. It's actually 5 over 24. Okay, so lesson here, don't do mental sum. No matter how confident you are, when you come to dividing like this, you need to show the working. Yeah, Karina?
But how do you get 120?
How to get what?
120.
How to get 120? Because you got to change, you have to change the seconds. Can you see the seconds and the minutes? They are not the same. So you have to change the minutes to second. 60 times 2. 1 minute is 60 seconds. So 2 minutes will be 60 times 2. Okay, are you clear now? All right, so you have to make sure that everything is all in seconds. Then you can write your fraction. Okay, let's go to number 5. So which two lines are perpendicular to each other? Okay, now let's BE. Is BE and CD perpendicular? Where is BE? BE is here and your CD is here. They don't look perpendicular, so that's out already. How about FA and FD? FA is here, okay, FA is here, and your FD is here. It seems like they are perpendicular, but can you prove it? All right, it looks like they are perpendicular, but can you prove it? You need to use a squares to prove it. Okay, I'm going to erase the green color lines. Okay, and this is how we prove it. Okay, so we are going to prove number 2, whether number 2 is perpendicular. Okay, FA, look at FA, okay, look carefully. If you look at FA, look at this one, FA. And from these dots to the other dots here, okay? So how do you move? You count the squares. 1, 2, 2 squares to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, hang on for a while. Mr. Ong draw wrongly. Okay, one more time. So from this dot to the other dots, so you have 1, 2, 3. Okay, 3 squares to the left. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 9. Okay, so you have 9 squares upwards. So there's a pattern, 3, 9, 3, 9. So in order to draw the same line, which is equal in length and also perpendicular, how do you draw an equal line and also perpendicular? So you follow, okay, follow the pattern. Can you use the same pattern and see whether from the blue dot to the other blue dot, is it the same pattern? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 also. And then 1, 2, 3. Same pattern. So once you get the same pattern, these two lines, they are not only equal length, but they are also right angle. Okay, they are also right angle to each other. So your number 2 is perpendicular. Okay, do you understand? This is how you use a squares to prove whether they are perpendicular and equal in length. You have to count the squares. Are you clear? Okay, Caleb, clear? Everybody understand how to use a squares to move. Okay, let's go to number 6. Okay, once you've got the answer 2 already, then we can move on to the next one. No need to look at 3 and 4. Okay, question number 6. Ravi has 3/4, so you have to convert the fraction to ratio. So Ravi has 3, all right, and Peter has 4. Does my ratio have a total? Yes, there's a total in the question. So total must be 7 units. So what's the ratio of the stamps that Peter had to the total? So Peter is 4:7. So answer is number 4. Okay, all right, let's go on to the next page. Okay, next question, question 7. Okay, can cycle along a track from 5:30 to 6:50 p.m. So if you have difficulty trying to find the duration, then you should what? You should draw a timeline. Okay, so you have 5:30 p.m. So what I'm doing is I draw a timeline. Okay, how many hours and minutes? So you jump 1 hour until 6:30. Okay, so this is 1 hour already. And then this will be 20, right? 20 minutes. So you have 1 hour and 20 minutes. Okay, for Ken. Then how about Lee? So Lee cycle from 5:40 p.m. So you have another timeline until 7:20. So again, get the nearest hour. So you have until 6 p.m., which is the nearest hour. That will be 20 minutes. And then get the nearest hour over here, which is 7 p.m. That is 1 hour. And then 7 p.m. to 7:20 is 20 minutes. Okay, so how many hours and minutes? There'll be 1 hour and 40. Okay, 1 hour and 40 minutes. Okay, so if Lee cycle for 1 hour 40 minutes and Ken cycle for 1 hour 20 minutes, so how much longer? So you have to minus. So there will be 20 minutes longer. So your answer is number 2. Okay, so this question answer is number 2. Clear? So timeline, using a timeline to get your duration. Okay, question 8. If you don't read carefully for question 8, you will find the area of the whole figure if you don't read carefully. But the question actually asks you to find the area of the semicircle, not the whole figure. So I hope you didn't find the area of the whole figure. So the figure is made of a quarter circle of radius 8 cm. So you need to put something onto your drawing. So how do you find the area of the semicircle? Half times formula, which is the area of a circle. What is the area of a circle? Pi r square. So half times pi r square. So what is your pi? Leave your answer in terms of pi because the answers are all in terms of pi. And the radius is 8 times 8. Okay, r square means 8 times 8, radius times radius. Okay, 8 times 8 is 64. 64 divided by 2, that will be 32. So what's the area of the semicircle? The area of the semicircle is number 1, 32 pi centimeter square. Hang on for a while.
No,
This
it's
one has a
pi
mistake.
r square radius, right?
Radius of find the area
So
of the
it's
semicircle.
four, not
Oh,
4
Miss,
times 4.
make a mistake. Yeah, make a mistake. Alamak. Okay, my mistake. So, okay. What's the area of the semicircle? What's the radius of the semicircle? The radius of the semicircle is 4. Okay, yeah, 4. Okay, yeah, so Mr. Ong make a mistake. So let's erase this part. Yeah. Okay, so half times pi r square. So what is pi r square? So half times pi times 4 times 4. Okay, so be careful, right? So the radius of the semicircle is 4. All right, then what do you get? 4 times 4 is 16. 16 divided by 2 is 8. 8 times pi is 8 pi. So answer number 3. Okay, so do you finally get the answer correct? So be careful, right? It's actually a very simple problem. So just don't lose your marks. Okay, let's go to question 9. Now arrange the following distance from the longest to the shortest. Now you cannot compare the numbers. You have to change them into all whole numbers. Then you can compare. So how do you change into whole number? 9.45 kilometer is how many meters? 9,450 meters. Okay, but how do you get this? Because from kilometer to meters, you have to multiply by 1,000. All right. So how do you shift the decimal point? 1, 2, and 3. So put a 0 in the blank space, arrowhead, decimal point, and then 0 behind. That's how you get 9,450 meters. So you have to know how to shift. Okay, Ashley, got to start your video, Ashley, and Suning. All right, Mr. the one to teach. All right, if you don't start your video, Mr. has to remove you already. Got to start your video. Okay, and Ashley, got to start your video, Ashley. Okay, so this is how you change into whole number. All right, shifting the decimal point. Okay, how about 9 kilometer and 95 meter, which is 9,095 meters. Okay, 9 kilometer is 9,000 plus 95. So you get 9,095. How about the other one? Now there's a shortcut to change this into meters. You make the denominator into 1,000. Okay, because 1 kilometer is 1,000. So 5 times 200 is 1,000. And how do you get 200? You take 1000 divided by 5. And then 3 times 200, that will be 600. So what is how many meters is that? 9,600 meters. That's a shortcut to change into what? To change into meters. So now can you compare? So which is the longest? The longest has to be this one, right? This is the longest. So 9 3/5 kilometer. So number 3, number 4 out already. And then which is the second longest? The second longest will be this one, 9,450 meter, which is 9.45 kilometer. All right, and then the shortest will be 9 kilometer and 95 meters. So the answer is number 1. Okay, so you can't compare until you make everything all the same type, all whole numbers. Then you can compare. All right. Okay, so copy down the corrections. If you don't have time to copy down, you can watch the video, right, to catch up. Okay, question 10. Okay, the bar graph shows the computer sold in each month from August to November. The bar for the computer sold in November has not been drawn. So what's the first thing you must do when there's a bar graph? You need to count the gaps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have 5 gaps is 20. Then 1 gap is 4, and then you start counting. August has how many? August has 60. Let me see. 60. Is that 60? 60, 64, 68. Right? 68. Okay. Then September is how many? 20, 24, 28. Okay, make sure you count the gaps correctly and put the numbers correctly. October is 28, then continue, plus 4 will be 32 and 36. Okay, so how many computers did the shop sell altogether in August and September? So you just add these two together. I think you will get, again, don't do mental sum, okay? Don't do mental sum. So in the paper 1, just write down. Okay, write down the working and get the answer. So you will get 96. All right, so the computer sold in August and September is 96. So don't do mental sum. Write down the working and get the answer. It's safer, all right? Safer and you will make careless mistakes. All right, question 11. The number of computers sold. Okay. All right, now hang on for a while. Mr. need to stop the video. Now I'm going to give a last warning. Karina, Yoke, and Wenrei, start your video. You all should know by now that video has to be started, have to be turned on. Otherwise, I'll remove you already. Okay, Mr. don't want to keep saying that again and again. Understand? Okay, make sure all videos are turned on. Okay. Yeah, Wenrei. What is it, Wenrei?
Preparing.
Okay, yeah. Then I'll make sure you quickly come online. Okay. Now the next one who turn off the video. You will see yourself out of the room already. Then you watch the lesson video. Okay, you watch the recorded video. Understand? All right. So last warning, anyone who turn off the video, you just watch the recorded lesson. Okay, the number of computers sold in November was a 25% increase from the computers sold in October. Okay, now when there's a percentage, then what is your 100%? Your 100% is October. Okay, that's the increase. The November was a 25% increase from which month? From October. Then your November must be how many percent? That must be 125%. So before you can plus 25%, or whether you can plus or before you can plus or minus, you always have to start with 100% first. Okay, very important. Then you add the 25% more. All right, so how many computers were sold in November? Then you look at October. October has how many? October has 36, right? Which is 100%. So 100% is 36. Then your November is 125%. So please understand the concept. All right, what is your 100% before you plus and minus? Okay, so October is where you have 100% first. All right, then next step is to jump. Okay, do faster. So divide by. Okay, divide by what? Divide by what? What can we divide? Divide by 4. Okay, now if you have difficulty jumping, okay, let's say if you have difficulty jumping and you don't know how to jump, then what do? Then you find 1%. You can still do that. And what is 1%? 1% is 36 over 100. Avoid decimal, right? Like Jareen and Michelle, I was telling you, remember, avoid decimal, right, as a fraction. And then 1% is 36 over 100. Then 125% will be, you just multiply. Okay? Yeah. This is, you do this way when you don't know how to jump. Okay, then what do? Then you cancel. So divide by 5 and divide by 5. Okay, so 125 divided by 5 will be 25. And then divide by 5 again, you get 4. And divide by 5 again, you get 5. Yep. And then 4 divided by 4 is 1. 36 divided by 4 is 9. Okay. And once the denominator is 1 already, can you see that? Then you can stop. You can stop cancelling. And you can now multiply the numerators, which is 9 times 5 is 45. 1 times 1 is 1. So how many computers were sold in November? Which is 45. So you have 45 computers sold in November. Okay, this is, if you don't know how to jump, then what do? Then you find 1% how many. All right, then after that, you can get the answer also. Okay, let's go to question number 12. Okay, question number 12. Okay, now this one is a little, okay, it can be a little.
I'm not done copying.
Okay, hurry. We still need to end at 9 p.m. Okay, copy down quickly. Okay, so far is the lesson clear? All right, if you are not clear, just ask me later, okay, after the lesson. Okay, Jordan, how come you are walking around with the laptop, with the iPad? Okay, done? Okay, come, let's go on to question number 12. All right, question 12. Now, question 12 is percentage again. It can be very confusing, all right, for this question. So how do we make it a bit simple? Now, this is how you do it. At first, there were 60 red apples and 40 green apples. Mrs. Lim then sold 10% of the red apples. So what does the 10% referring to? What is the 10% referring to? It's referring to the red apples, which is 100%. Okay, all the red apples is 100%. Yep. Okay, then if all the red apples is 100%, all right, this is the red apples, that will be 60, right? Yeah, and if she sold 10%, then how many percent left? So that will be 90% left, right? So jumping. So can we do jumping? This one will be quite easy to do jumping. You divide by 10, and then later you times 9 to get 90% left. Then the other side, you also divide by 10, you get 6. And then later times 9, you get 54 red apples left. Okay, this is the 54 red apples left. Okay, then you go to the next one. Okay, the next one, the green apples. So she sold 25% of the green apples, which is another 100%. So the 25% is referring to the green apples, which is everything, right? All the green apples is 100%. So you have two different 100%. So this 100% is all the green apples. So can we do jumping again? So you can jump. So she sold 25%. She must have 75% of the green apples left. So jumping. So divide by 4, and then later times 3, right? So the other side, you also divide by 4.
Times 3, not divide by 3.
Divide by 4 and then times 3. Yeah, times 3. Yes, you're right. Okay, so let me just correct that part. So divide by 4 and then later times 3. So you can see that what are the common mistakes that Mr. Ong make together with you when we want to write something, our finger writes something else. Okay, it's very common. So you just have to be careful. All right, that's why you need to check after you've done all your work so that you can see whether you are writing down exactly what you want to write. So divide by 4 on the other side and then times 3. Okay, so it's good that Mr. Ong made all the mistakes because why? Because you're all making the same mistakes. You can see that why we are all making the same mistakes because this careless, like this is something called careless that we need to try to avoid. So how many green apples are left, which is your 30 green apples left? Okay, so what percentage of the apples did she have left? Now to get the percentage, what do we do? We try to always try to get your fraction first. Remember, always get your fraction, then you convert to percentage later. So what fraction of all the apples, which is how many apples at first? 60 plus 40. So what fraction of all the apples did she have left? So 54 plus 30, that will be 84 over 100. Get your fraction first. And because if your denominator is 100, then the percentage is the numerator. Okay, that's the reason why you always get the fraction first, because if your denominator is 100, then your answer is the numerator already, which is the percentage. So she has 84% of the apples left in the basket. Do you understand? So to get percentage, always try to get your fraction easier, right? It's easier to convert to percentage. Okay, question 13. Okay, if you're copying, you can wait late. You can wait at the end of the lesson to copy. All right, so that we don't end too late lah. Now in the figure below, ABCD is a trapezium. Where's a trapezium? The figure and your CD is parallel to AB. Given that AE is equal to DE, so these two sides are equal, and find EAB. So you have to put the question mark on the diagram. So your picture cannot be very clean. You have to put all this inside your picture. Okay, once you've done that already, then you can start to find easy angle. These two angles are equal. You take 180 minus 62 and then divide by 2 because it's an isosceles triangle. Yep, so divide by 2 already, you will get 59 and this is also 59. Okay, all right, then you are stuck. Okay, why are you stuck? You cannot assume that this is a right angle because the question never says, right? So that's not a right angle. So how do you find the question mark? You can see that there are two lines parallel. So if there are two lines parallel, what's the important property? The angles between the two lines, okay, the angles between the two lines add together is 180 degrees. So can we find the question mark? Yes, we can. We take 180 minus 59 minus 59 and minus 13. Okay, and that's how you get the question mark, which is 49 degrees. So answer number 2. Okay, so the important property, what's the important property? Angles between two lines that are parallel add together is 180. So as we keep doing, hopefully by now, the properties are very, very clear in your head already. Okay, question 14, you need to draw the compass. So Alex and Melissa were facing the same direction. Then Melissa turned 225 degrees anti-clockwise to face east. Alex turned 90 degrees clockwise. So which direction did Alex face in the end? So if there are two persons, this one you definitely cannot do mental sum. You have to draw two compass. Okay, and your north is usually on top. Okay, usually facing upwards. If the question never say anything, the north is usually upstairs. Okay, going up, and then your west, east, west, and your east. Okay, and your 8-point compass. All right, so you can see that you cannot do mental sum for this. Anyone who do mental sum, I think most likely is going to be wrong. Okay, so put down all the directions there. This is northwest, northeast. This is southeast, and this is your southwest. Okay, then what do you do next? Okay, then you start doing your working on the compass. So the first one is Alex. Okay, this is Alex. Okay, Alex. And this is Melissa. So Melissa turned 225 degrees anti-clockwise to face east. So where did she face at first? You have to work backwards. So your 225 degrees, you break up into smaller numbers and you turn backwards. So anti-clockwise become clockwise. So you turn clockwise 180 and then another 45 degrees. So where did Melissa face at first? Melissa faced northwest at first. Okay, Johan, you have to mute your background. Okay, so if Melissa faced northwest at first, then how about Alex? Alex must also face northwest at first. Am I correct? Then what did Alex do? Alex turned 90 degrees clockwise. So where did she face, or where did he face in the end? So he must be facing northeast, northeast in the end. So the answer is number 1. You get the answer correct? So this one you have to draw, you have to show the two compass. Cannot do working. I mean, cannot do mental sum, right? If you do mental sum, it's very hard, right? It's going to be a lot of mistakes lah. Okay, so let's go to number 15, right? 15. Okay, 15. Okay, Maki cuts a square piece of paper measuring 12 cm in length into 2 pieces of squares and 2 pieces of rectangle, shown in figure 1. He arranged the pieces to form a big rectangle as shown in figure 2. So what's the parameter of the big rectangle? Lesson here, there's a method. Okay, there's a method. When question gets harder, there is a method. So what method do we use for this question? The method is what? Unitary method. Okay, units. Okay, look for identical parts. All right, look for identical parts, and then you call them units. So where are the units? Well, the units are here. This is 1 unit. So you should be thinking of this method when you see something identical. So every side of the square is 2 unit. Am I correct? Every side is 2 unit. And then over here, 2 unit, 2 unit, 2 unit. Okay, then how about the length of the rectangle? Okay, if the side of the square is 2 unit, this is 1 unit, 1 unit. And the side of the square here is 2 unit, 2 unit. Then the length of the rectangle must be 4 units. Yep, that's the length of the rectangle. Got it? Okay, so what else can we do? Now, Maki cut a square piece of paper measuring 12 cm in length. So where is the 12 cm in length? This is the square piece of paper, right? And the length is over here, right? So she cut a square piece of paper measuring 12 cm in length. So the 4 unit is the length of one side of the square piece of paper. So your 4 units is 12 cm. 1 unit must be 3 cm. Am I correct? Okay. So if 1 unit is 3 cm, what's the perimeter of the big rectangle? 2 plus 4 is 6. 6 plus 2 is 8. 8 plus 8 is 16. 16 plus 4 unit, that will be 20 units. So the perimeter of the figure 2 is 20 units. So 20 times 3. So your answer should be 60 cm. So answer number 2. Are you clear? Are you clear on how to get the answer? Unitary method, okay? Okay, let's go to question 16, all right? So Anson, do you get all the answers correct, Anson? Okay, I hope everybody has got most of the questions correct. Paper 1 have to score high. Okay, so since you have done so many paper 1, you should try to aim for at least 35, right? 35 and above. Okay, at least, okay? 35 and above. Okay, question 16. Okay, Jane has 5 50-cent coin. That will be 50 times 5, 250 cents or $2.50. 3 20-cent coin will be 60 cents, right? 60 cents. 7 5-cent will be 35 cents. Okay, so again, don't do mental sum, okay, because it's not advisable. So add all the numbers together, 5, then 5 plus 6, 11, plus 3, 14, and you will get $3.45. Okay, that's question 16. Okay, let's go to 17. How do you divide? Okay, now, also you should be quite good at this already. Change the whole number into a fraction and then divide by 2/3. All right, so how do you divide the fractions? Keep the first, okay, change the divide to times and flip, okay, flip upside down. So keep, change, flip, all right, keep, change, flip. All right, then you, then what do? Then you divide by 2 and 24 divided by 2, right? And once your denominators are 1, you can start to multiply them already. So 12 times 3 will be 36, and then 1 times 1 is 1. So your answer will be 36. Okay, now this is important for Jereen and for Mingxian, and for those students, okay, my students, to do speed problem, you have to know how to divide fractions. Okay, so this is the part where you have to be very good, because if you cannot divide fractions, you can't do the speed problems. Okay, yeah, Jereen, why are you? Is that Jereen? You're laughing. You're very happy. Your face is like very happy. Okay, let's go to the next one. Question 18. Okay, question 18. What's the percentage? Okay, some of you are a bit confused on this. Always change the decimal to fraction. Always get your fraction first before you get your percentage, right? Fraction is the what? Fraction is the best friend of percentage. So 19 out of 1,000. Yep. Okay. Then make the denominator 100. So you just divide by 10 to get what? To get 100. So you have 19 divided by 10. What is 19 divided by 10? If you're not sure, then you just shift the decimal point right to the left 1 time. That will be 1.9. So you get 1.9 over 100. Once your denominator is 100, then your answer is 1.9. Okay, that's how simple it is, right? That's why you need to understand why sometimes we always get fraction, because we want to be more efficient, right, in getting the percentage. Okay, all right, let's go to question 19. Okay, shape 3 more squares to form a symmetric figure. So where are the 3 squares? Okay, now you have to turn the paper. until the symmetry line, until the dotted line is facing you vertically, then easier to compare, easier to see left and right. So if you look at the symmetry, look at the figure. Okay, let me use a red color, okay? There's a square here, there's a square opposite, yes. Triangle, opposite also got triangle. There's a square here, opposite, there's a square. And there's a square here, but opposite got no square, so must color. Okay, so that's one missing square. And there's a square here, opposite got no square, so have the color. Okay, all right, then go on. There's a square here, opposite got no square, so must color. And then this square and this square opposite each other, triangle, triangle, opposite each other. So these are the three missing squares. Okay, if you have difficulty trying to find the square, you turn the paper until the symmetry line is vertical in front of you. Okay, question 20. Question 20, shortcut. All right, shortcut. Rectangular tank contains water to a height of 20 cm. How much water is needed to fill the tank to the brim? So you are going to pour some more water, right? So what's the shortcut? The shortcut is to find the difference. You take 30 minus 20, you need to pour another 10 cm high of water. That's a shortcut. Then you take length times breadth times how much more you need to pour in, right? How much high? What is the height of the water that you must pour in? Okay, so what do? Then you take 4 times 25 is 100. 100 times 1 is 100. And then there's 2 zeros here. Then you just add 2 zeros behind. Okay, so you have to know how to multiply with less working. So 10,000 cm cube or 10,000 ml. All right, so how much water in ml? Your answer is supposed to be in ml, so you cannot change into liters. You have to write 10,000. Okay, clear? Okay, let's go on to the next one. Okay, so quite easy so far. Okay, question number 21. Okay, straight lines. When you see straight lines, look for X. Okay, there's an X there. So where's the X? Okay, one straight line, another straight line. So this entire angle will be how many? 90 plus 43, which is the same as the opposite angle. So 90 plus 43 is 133 degrees. Okay, so your answer is 133 degrees. Got it? So when two lines cross each other, there's an X there, X. Okay, let's go on to question 32. Okay, actually you have to take away the background. Actually, your background is, your virtual background cannot see you at all. So can you have a blurry background or take away the virtual background? Okay, question 22. A photocopier can print 60 copies in 20 seconds. Okay, for Jereen, when do we do the arrow? When do we do the arrow? When you see red question. Okay, some of you okay, you are asking when do I have the arrow? So when you have a question on rates, this is what you do. 20 seconds, arrow sign, 60 copies. Okay, right, there's an arrow there. Okay, at this rate, how long does it take the photocopier to print 2 to 5 copies? So you will have to do some jumping. Okay, if you can jump, it'll be faster. So how do we jump? Okay, so how do we jump? So I don't think we need to jump. We just find 1 second. There's no need to jump. So 60 divided by 20, that will be 3. Yeah, 3 copies. Okay, all right. So you divide by 20 here to get 1 second. The other side also divide by 20. Then later, what do? You have to times. So 3 times what equal 225? You take 225 divided by 3. So you show your working. 225 divided by 3, you will get 75. So 3 times 75 equal 225. Then the other side, you also times 75. So you will need 75 seconds. All right, to print 225 copies. Got it? Clear? Okay, so that's when you do the arrow when it's a red question. Okay, question 23. Let's go on. Now the figure is made of a rectangle and a quarter circle. Find the parameter of the figure. Now your picture cannot be very clean, so you must put numbers on your picture. 60 minus 40, this is 20. Radius of the quadrant, and this side must also put, because when you put on this side, on this dotted line, you will know that opposite side of the rectangle is the same. So your picture cannot be very clean. And once you have that already, then you can find the parameter. So you take 40 plus 20 plus 60, right? So show your steps. 40. Okay, paper one, you don't have to write your steps to. You just have to write your working. No need to write too detailed. Okay. Paper one, just write the working, get the answer. 40 plus 20 plus 60, what do you get? You will get 120. Okay, how do you find the quadrant? How do you find the circumference of the quadrant? 1/4, always put a fraction in front, times pi d. Okay, pi d, because this is parameter. Parameter means you want to find the circumference. Okay, find the circumference of the quadrant. All right, so 1/4 times pi d, what is your pi? 3.14, what's the diameter? You take the radius times 2, which is 40. Okay, quadrant has no diameter, only has radius. So you take the radius times 2, you get diameter. So 1/4 times pi times 40, so 40 divided by 4 is 10, right? 10 times 3.14, and you have to know how to shift the decimal point to the right. All right, okay, shortcut, all these are shortcuts. Shift to the right one time, and the circumference of the quadrant is 31.4. So what is the parameter of the whole figure? Then you take 120 plus 31.4. Okay, but remember, whole number cannot add with decimal. So change the whole number into a decimal. And then what do? Then you plus them together. The parameter is 151.4 cm. Yep. So do you get the answer correct? Okay. Okay, so your picture cannot be very clean. Make sure you have something on your pictures. Put numbers onto your pictures. Okay, question 24. Let's move on. Okay, Max is 4 years older than Sue. In 8 years' time, Max will be 22 years old. What is the ratio of Sue's age to Max's age now? Express your answer in the simplest form. Okay, every time there's an age problem, it's always a before and after problem, right? If it's an age problem, then you have something called before and after, and you can draw a model. So I can call the before the now, and I can call the after, which is future. So you can even change the label lah, now and future. So how do you draw the model? Max. Okay, so you don't know how to do, draw your model. Max is 4 years older. Okay, 4 years older than Sue. So you draw comparison model. This is your 4 years older. In 8 years' time, what will happen to their age in 8 years' time? Their rectangle will become longer. But this is a before and after problem. What is still the same? What is unchanged? The difference is always the same. Okay, take note. So what is unchanged? The difference is unchanged. So every time it's an age problem, the difference is always unchanged. Okay, then what do? 8 years time, I can actually cut here. Add 8 years, right? You add 8 years to each person, 8 years time. And now Max, in 8 years time, Max will be 22 years old. See, look at my drawing. All right, so in 8 years time, Max will be 22 years old. That's your model, right? So can we find each person age already? Yeah, can we find already? Yes, we can. 22 minus 8, 14. Then 14 minus 4, 10. So your method, this is your method already, which is your model drawing. So if Max is 14 years now, Sue is 10 years now. So can we find the ratio of Sue's age to Max's age now, which is 10 is to 14. So divide by 2 and 14 divided by 2. So your answer is 5 is to 7. Okay, so I want you to think of your method, right? This question you can apply a method because it's an age problem. So what method is that? Before and after model. All right, okay, let's go to question 25. Okay, copy down ready? Okay, question 25. Okay, let's move on.
Mr. Ong,
Yes, Suren?
but for question 24, right?
Yep.
They say for the, what is Max age now?
Yeah, Max age now.
So you're supposed to put 10
Okay.
10 and 22.
Then, Now, in 8 years' time, Max will be 22 years old. 8 years' time. So when is Max going to be 22 years old? In 8 years' time. So how old is Max now? Then you must take 22 minus 8 to get 14. 14. So Max is not 22 years now. All right. Max is going to be 22 years old in 8 years' time. So, Suran, you got it already, yeah, understand? Okay, let's go to question 25. Okay, question 25, your algebra. Joshua had a piece of wire measuring 14 kcm in length. He used it to form an equilateral triangle and had 4 cm of wire left. So find the length of each side of the equilateral triangle in terms of k. So what is equilateral triangle? All the sides are equal. Yep. So you should take the length of the wire at first and minus away how much is left. Minus 4 cm left, right? And that is the length of wire used to make the triangle. And then after you minus 4 cm already, then you have to divide by 3 to find how long is one side. So your answer is actually 14K, which is the length of the wire at first. Then you minus how much is left over to get how long you use to make the triangle. And then later must divide by 3 to find the length of one side. And that's your algebra answer. Okay, clear? Yeah. So what is the parameter of the equilateral triangle given that k equal to 8? All right, if k equal to 8, you can actually do what? You can actually change this, right, into 14k. What is 14k? 14 times 8. So 14 times 8, do your working, which is 112 cm, right? 14 times 8. And then you take 112 cm, right? And then you go and minus the leftover, see? And then later the answer divide by, oh no, don't divide, we are not dividing, sorry. So you just take 112 minus 4, okay, to get what is the length of the wire used to make the whole triangle. So your answer will be how many? 112 minus 4 is 108, right? So you use, so what's the parameter of the triangle, which is also the length of the wire used to make the triangle. Okay, parameter of the triangle means what? Means the length of the wire that you use to make the triangle. It's the same meaning. Okay, clear so far? So when you're asked to find the parameter of the triangle, you are also finding the length of the wire used to make the triangle, which is 108 cm. Okay, all right. Okay, let's go to question 26. Let's come down. Now, this is the one. Okay, when the question gets hard, there is a method that you can use. But actually, you can still do this question even if you don't know the method. What is the total area of the shaded part? Takeaway method. Or is it takeaway method? Okay, let's read the question. ABCD is a rectangle measuring 30 by 20. E is a point on CD. DF is equal to FC. DF is equal to FC. Oh, so these two sides are equal. 30 divided by 2, 15. And here is also 15, right? 15. So find the total area of the shaded parts. Okay, now, I think many of you have found the rectangle area. Then what you do? Then you take away this triangle. Am I correct? And then you also take away this triangle and you get the shaded part. Yeah, that's correct, right? Take away method. But there is a faster way. Okay, there's a faster way. So what's the faster way? Okay, now the faster way is this. The two shaded triangles, what do they share in common? Right, what do they share in common? Do they share a common base or common heights? They actually share a common height. The two shaded triangles, they share a common height. Okay, now listen carefully. I am going to draw a right angle triangle again, which has the same area as these two shaded triangles. So how do I draw a right angle triangle that has the same area as these two shaded triangles? I just combine the base together. Combine the base together. And then the height is common, which is here, to form a right angle. And this right angle triangle is the same area. Okay, same area as the two shaded triangles, same. So how do I find the shaded parts? I just take half times 15, half times 15 times 20, divide by 2, and I will get 150 centimeters square, which is the shaded part. One step. Okay, one step. Some of you, you find the rectangle, then you take away the unshaded triangles, also correct. Or you can do this way. you combine the two shaded triangles together into a right angle triangle, and then just get the shaded area. And how do you combine them? Very important. How do you combine them? You must make sure that these two shaded triangles, they share something common. So they share a common height, right? The two triangles, they share a common height. So you draw the common height, and then the two base, right? These two shaded triangles have two base. You just join them together, right? And then that is your right angle already. Very easy. That's how you draw the right angle triangle that has the same area as these two shaded ones. Okay, understand? Shortcut, huh? But of course, if you don't understand, then use the takeaway method, which is also correct. You will still get the same answer. Okay, let's move on to question 27. Right, question 27. Okay, coming to the end soon already. Triangle ABC is drawn on a square grid. Draw another triangle ABX such that the triangle ABX is half the area of triangle ABC. So do you know what's the area of triangle ABC? Do you know how to count? Count the units. So you have 1, 2 units, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. The height is 4 units. The base is 2 units. Half times 2 times 4. What's the area of this triangle? The area of this triangle is 4 units. Am I correct? Okay, you must know how to find the area of this triangle. You have to count the units for the base, count the units for the height. Okay, the height is 4 units, the base is 2 units, half times 2 times 4 to get the area of this triangle. And you need to draw another triangle, which is half the area of ABC. So that triangle that you're drawing must be how many units? That triangle that you're drawing must be how many units? Half. 4 divided by 2. So you will need to draw a triangle that is only 2 units. Wow, how to draw? Is it 2 units? Half times 2 times 4, 8. Yeah. So draw another triangle such that the area of triangle ABX is half the area of ABC. So what is ABC? ABC is 4. Okay, 4 units. Okay. All right. So how do we draw? Ready? Okay. So this is how you draw ABX. So ABX must have the same side. The triangle that you draw must have the same side. Okay. So half times what? Half times, can you see the 2 units here? ABX has the same side, right? Half times 2 times what will give you area, which is 2 units also, right? 2 units. So that must be 2, right? Half times 2 times 2 equal 2. So which means that the height of this ABX must be 2 units, right? ABX. And that is your triangle, right? Your triangle already. So half times 2 times 2, you get 2 units, which is half the area of ABC. Do you understand? Do you understand? This is your construction already. It may not be easy for some of you, but number one, you must know how to find the area of the ABC triangle. And then after that, once you find the area of the triangle ABC, what do? Halve it, because you need to draw a triangle ABX that is only 2 units. And how do you draw this ABX? Then you must take half times 2. Why half times 2? Because the base is 2 units already, right? Or the height is 2 units already. Then you need to draw another 2 units here, right? 2 units. So half times 2 times 2, that gives you ABX, which is half the area of triangle ABC. Okay? Yep. Okay, so once you have completed your drawing, erase all these lines, all these numbers, because they are not part of the drawing. So make sure you erase all these things. All right, and then and this is your final, okay, your final drawing. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Okay, the next one already. Okay, hang on for a while. Let me just erase some. Okay, all this. Okay, let's go to part B. Okay, part B. Okay, part B. Okay, you're supposed to draw a rhombus. Okay, a rhombus BCY. The angle BCY is less than 90 degrees. Okay, BCY is less than 90. All right, and it gets harder already, but is it really hard to draw? And this rhombus cannot overlap with the ABC. Okay, so how do you draw rhombus BCY that's less than 90? So BCY. So draw a sketch. Okay, if you don't know how to do, draw a sketch. So your must be something like that lah. All right, your BCY must be less than 90, right? So your numbers will be something like that lah. Something like that. Okay, something like that. Okay, so how do we do that? Okay, look at BC and count the gaps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5. So I'm going to draw another line that's equal in length. 1, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you come down 1 here. Okay, and so something like that. Okay, and then continue. Okay, so starting from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have 1 and 5. Okay, can you see the pattern? The pattern is actually the same now. You can see the pattern all the same. Use the pattern to help you to draw. So from this dot, join. Then from here, 1. Okay, 1, then 2, 3, 4, 5. So the same pattern. So join. Okay, something like that. So that is your rhombus. Okay, your rhombus already. So you have to count the dots, find the pattern, and then use the pattern to draw your lines. So all the 4 lines are equal. Do you know that all these 4 black lines, they are all equal length? Why they are all equal length? Because of the same pattern, right? Same pattern. Okay, so that's your rhombus. So B, C, Y, Y, Z. Okay, after you're drawn already, then mark out the sides that are equal. And then your BCY is less than 90, definitely. Okay, it's definitely less than 90. And that's it. Yeah, and of course, erase all the workings, all those extra lines, numbers, you have to erase them. Okay, clear so far? Okay, I'm going to leave the workings there. I'm going to leave the numbers and the lines there. Yeah, Wenrei, question, Wenrei.
This 5, isn't 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
Oh no, you count from where? How do you count? You don't count from, okay, can you take away the green color dots? How do you count? Okay, how do you count? For example, okay, let me use a red color. From this dot to this dot, right? How to count? You don't count here, don't count here. This is like your starting point. You count the next dot, 1. Count the next dot, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And then when you go up, don't count here. This is like your starting point already. So you count 1. Understand? Got it now? Yeah?
Isn't it 1, 2, 3, 4?
Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, yeah. Okay. There's a error here. There's a drawing. There's a counting error here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so the black dot is on the wrong place. Okay, can I just erase again, and then let me just show you one more time. Okay, let me just erase the rhombus, and then we draw again, because there is a counting error. Okay, let me just erase this part. Okay, erase this part, erase this part, erase this part. Okay, and let me erase this part. And okay, let me just erase. Okay, let's count the dots again. Okay, let me use a red color. Okay, one more time. So this one here. So how to move? Okay, ready? Go up 1. Okay, 1. Then from here, this is your starting point. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Okay, 4 is 4. It's not 5. It's 4. So can we change the 5 to 4? So it's not 5. It's actually 4. Okay, 4. Okay, now if you see something, just let me know. Okay, it's okay to let me know, right? So otherwise, we're gonna waste time to go through all this again. All right, so count. If you see anything that is counted wrongly, or there's some mistake, just let me know. Okay, then once you know the pattern is 1 and 4, then do the same thing. Okay, so from here, you count 1, 2, 3, 4. Then go down 1. Okay, finally. So you join. Okay, join. Then count 1. Go down 1. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, and you join. Can you see what I'm doing? See? Okay. Finally, it's correct already. Then from here you come 1. Okay. Then 4. Then 1. Then you go right. 1, 2, 3, 4. So same dots, and you join. Finally, you get a nice rhombus. Just now, the earlier rhombus was not really rhombus. Okay, so once you have the rhombus already, then you label B, C, Y, Z. Okay, and put down the markings. Okay, the markings, and also double check to see your BCY. Your BCY is less than 90, and remove all the dots. Okay, remove all those extra things. Okay, so in your final drawing, final answer, you have to remove all the extra things because they are not part of the diagram. Got it now? All right. So one more time, you have to count the what? You have to count the dots. Okay, so that you can find a pattern. Because once you find the pattern, then use the pattern to do what? Use the pattern to draw your other lines. Okay. All right. Let's go to the next one. Okay. Question number the 28.
Wait. Yeah, I haven't finished yet.
Okay. Hurry. Okay. I'm going to leave out I'm going to put the dots and the numbers there so that you can see. You can understand how to draw the lines. So there's a reason for the dots. There's a reason for the squares. Okay, so you are not supposed to take a ruler and measure. No protract. I mean, you have to use the dots lah. Count the dots, count the squares. That's the reason why you see dots and squares lah on your question. Okay, done already. Okay, let's move on to question number 28. Now, only make 5 liters of bandung drink using 1/4 liters of syrup and some milk. What fraction of the bandung drink was made of rose syrup? Now you get confused, right? So what do? You can actually change the liters into ml. So 4/5 is how many liters? 4/5 liters is actually make the denominator 1000, 5 times 200, and 4 times 200, you will get 800 over 1000, which is actually 800 ml. Okay, and then 1/4 liters is how many ml? So you make the denominator 1000 also. So 4 times 250 and 1 times 250. And how many ml? Which is 250 ml. See? All right, these are your very important fractions. These are your special, these fractions have all units. So do I draw a model? I don't draw a model because there are liters beside the fraction. I cannot draw a model. Okay, all right. So can we find how much milk is there? So my bandung is 800 ml and my rose syrup is 250 ml. Then my milk must be 800 minus 250. That will be 550 ml, right? So now can we find what fraction of the bandung drink, which is 800? Okay, now you can get a fraction already. What fraction of the bandung drink was made of rose syrup, which is 250? Okay, and then no calculator, so you cancel and cancel, right? And then 25 divided by 5 is 5. 80 divided by 5 is 16. So your fraction is 5 over 16. Got it? Okay, understand? Right? So can we draw a model for these fractions? We cannot draw a model because there's a liters there. So cannot draw a model. Okay, 2 more questions. Okay, yeah, Karina?
Teacher, can I leave now because I got something important to do.
Okay, the last question is the most important. The last question. Right, the last question is the hardest of all. Okay. Okay, then you watch the video lah. Okay. All right, let's look at question 29.
Bye-bye.
Okay, yeah, Karina, see you tomorrow. Okay. All right, now goodbye. Okay, let's look at question 29. Now you have a bar graph again. So what do? Count the gaps. So you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 gaps is 10. 1 gap is 2. So you have milk. Milk is how many? Milk is 8. And then dark chocolate is 10, and then your white chocolate is how many? 16, right? 16. Okay, and then what do? So find the total money that Noah spent on the chocolates. All right, so you take 8 times what? There are 8 milk chocolates. So let me write over here. 8 times $1.20. That will be $9.60. And then there are 10 dark chocolates. 10 times $2.50. And shift the decimal point to the right. And you get 25.0 or $25. Okay, shortcut without working. And then 16 white will be 16 times $2, which is $32. And then you plus them together. Okay, so you take $9.60 plus, okay, you have to show working. Okay, show your working. And if you add them correctly, you will get how much? So you will get $66.60, which is the money collected. All right, if you add them correctly. So this one is quite easy, not very hard. Okay, the last question. Okay, the last question. Okay, this is the one. Okay, the last question, I think most of you have difficulty trying to do, right? So let's look at the last question and we go slow. Okay, last question. Okay, ready? Every time the question gets hard, there's a method. There's always a method somewhere. So at first, chairs in the hall were arranged in rows of 12. Rows of 12 means what? Every row got 12 chairs. When you see the word rows of 12, isn't that average? Average already, rows of 12. Every row got 12, that's average already. Then 57 more chairs were brought in and all the chairs were rearranged into rows of 21, another average. So you have two average. What's the method? Average model. Okay, when do we draw average model? When we don't know how many rows are there, then we draw average model. And why do we draw average model? Because rows of 12, rows of 21, they are all average. Okay, understand? Okay, so once you know the method already, then you can start drawing. Okay, when we take away your annotation, okay, you have all the chairs at first. Okay, the chairs were arranged in rows of 12. So first row, last row. Do I know how many rows? I don't know. Okay, then 57 more chairs were brought in. So what happened to the total chairs? It becomes more. The total chairs has increased by 57, right? And in the end, there were 5 fewer rows and every row has 21. So cut a bigger box. So the first row got 21 and the last row got 21. Okay, do we know how many rows? We don't know. But we know that there are 5 fewer rows now. Okay, if there are 5 fewer rows now, what do we do? Okay, now look carefully. If you look at the model on top, we don't know how many rows are there. And you look at the model below, do we know how many rows are there? We are not sure. Okay, but we know that there are 5 fewer rows now. So what do I do? Very simple. Okay, this is the trick. Okay, I just have to cut on top another 5 more boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Why? And 6. Okay, 6. Okay, why? Why do we do this? Because after you add some more chairs, there were 5 fewer rows. So where are the equal number of rows at first and in the end? Where are the equal number of rows? Can you see these are the equal number of rows? Every row has different number of chairs, right? But they are equal number of rows. Can you see that? This is your equal number of rows at first and after. And then there are 5 more rows behind. Okay, see? All right, look at the red color model. Look at the red color rectangles. You have equal number of rows, right? On top and below in the red color rectangle. Okay, so what do we do next? Compare the average. Every row has 12 and now every row got 21. So you must give how many rows, how many chairs to every row so that every row got 21, all right? Every row got 21 chairs. You must give 9 chairs to each row. Then every row got 21 chairs already. So where do you take the 9 chairs to give to? Where do you take from? Very easy. Draw a dotted line to show where is the last row and draw a dotted line to show where is the same row, the same last row. And in between, what do you have in between? So in between, what do you have? You add all the numbers in between. So you take 57 plus 12 times 5. So 12 times 5 is 60. 60 plus 57 is 117. You take 117 chairs and give to every row 9 more chairs. And then what will happen? Then every row will have 21 chairs already. Okay, that is how you do. So you take 117 and then divide by 9. You must have given to how many rows? 13 rows, right? 13 rows, right? So which means that there are 13 rows in the end. And how many rows at first? 13 plus 5, 18 rows at first. Do you understand? This is your model. Okay, those who don't understand, you gotta stay back already. Stay back and wait for me to explain this again. All right, but if you understand, then okay, that's how you do it using the average model. Okay, and those who don't understand, you have to stay behind. All right, and then I will show you how to do this again. Okay, because it's 9:10 already. All right, it's overtime. All right, so anyone needs to stay back. All right, then you stay behind. All right, otherwise we will end the lesson. Okay, we'll end the lesson and then I'll see you the next week. Those who understand, I will see you next week. Okay, all right. Then those who stay behind. Okay, bye, Liwen. Yeah, I will wait for you. Anyone who need to stay behind, I will go through later. Okay, Jordan is here, right? Celine, Caleb. Oh, so everybody seems to understand now. Okay, Celine, not sure, right? Those who stay back, okay, means you're not sure. How about Zhong Hong? Zhong Hao? Okay, then we go through this. Okay, if you're not sure, we go through this again. Okay, let me erase again. For Jordan, don't worry, I'll erase again. You will see the same thing. All right, later on will be the same thing. Okay, let me just erase everything, okay? All right, so let me erase. Yeah, Jordan?
No, I understand. I don't copy the last part.
Okay, all right, quickly. And okay, let's say for, okay, come. I think Jordan, never mind. Let me just erase first. Okay, can you take away the annotation? Take away the annotation, okay, so that, okay, so that Mr. Ong doesn't have to
It's
clearly.
actually one way who did it.
Okay. I thought Mr. Ong has disabled the thing already. Okay, let me, see, how do we get this thing out? Okay, next lesson, let me know, let me start school one ray.
You can
Okay,
disable annotation.
yeah, okay, yeah, it's done already. Okay, all right, come, hang on for a while. See, what did I do? Okay, let's look at this again. All right, first of all, you will need to know what is the method, right? What's the method here? So you will need to do what? You will need to read the question, look out for clues. Okay, what kind of clues? Right, okay, let's read the question. Okay, hang on. Okay, at first chairs were arranged in rows of 12. So when you see rows of 12, it means average. Every row got 12 chairs. So that is like average. Then 57 more chairs were brought in and all the chairs were rearranged into rows of 21. So you have another average, right? It's average. Every row has equal number. That's average already. In the end, there were 5 fewer rows. How many rows or chairs were there in the end? Okay, so what do you do? Once you recognize that there's an average problem, then you don't know how many rows are there, then you draw your model. Okay, draw your model. All right, so this rectangle represents the chairs at first. And do we know how many rows? We are not sure. So you cut the first row, the first box, which is 12 chairs inside, and then cut the last box. Okay, let me just draw a bit longer because later on must cut, right? So draw a bit longer, and this is the last row. So your first row and the last row. Okay, first row, last row. Got it? All right. Then you add 57 more chairs. So what happened when you add 57 more chairs? Then you find that the total chairs will increase. Okay, total chairs will increase by 57, right? And what happened to the rows? The rows now become more chairs already. So every row got 21. And the last row also 21. Yep. And do we know how many rows? We are not sure. Okay, we are not sure. All right, now listen carefully. When you draw this kind of model, when you draw this kind of average model, you are actually telling Mr. Ong that how many rows here must be is the same as how many rows below. Okay. All right. So when we draw this kind of model, it means that the number of rows is the same for both rectangles. The number of rows is the same, but is that true? Is that true? No, right? In the end, there were 5 fewer rows. So we don't have equal number of rows. So can we try to draw equal number of rows? So how do we draw equal number of rows? Then what do? Then you just cut, right? Cut here. All right, there's 1 row here already. Okay, let me just erase the dotted line. Okay, so to make equal number of rows, what do? You just cut one more row here, one more row. So you have 3 rows, 4 rows, and 5 rows. Okay. Why do I cut 5 rows? Because there were 5 fewer rows in the end, right? 5 fewer rows in the end. And then this is the last row, okay, the last row, okay? And can you see my dotted line? My dotted line. So what does that tell you? It tells you that from here until here is the same number of rows. Do you understand? Now you can see that I have equal number of rows already in the red rectangles. I have equal number of rows already in the red rectangles, right? Understand now? And is all right. So once you understand that, then what do? Then we compare the average. So from 12 chairs become 21 chairs. So how many chairs or how many chairs must you give so that every row get 21? You have to give every row 9 more chairs. So compare the average. So every row must get 9 more chairs, but take from where? Right? If every row has 12 chairs at first, the first row and the last row has 12 chairs, but you want the first row and also the last row to have 21, then how many more must you add to every row? 21 minus 12, 9 more. You must give every row 9 more chairs. So take from where? Take from in between, take from here. Okay, take from here. Okay, can you see that? So how many is this? So you add all the numbers together, you will have 117. So you take 117 and give to every row 9 more chairs. So 117 divide by 9. Okay, and what do you get? You will get 13. So you must have given to 13 rows, which is 13 rows here and 13 rows here. Can you see that? Right? So how many rows were there in the end, which is 13 rows? If the question asks you how many rows were there at first, then 13 rows plus another 5 more. That will be 18 rows at first. Okay, but the question asks you how many rows were there in the end. So in the end, there are 13 rows only. Okay, are you clear? Okay, so when you draw average model, what is the purpose? The purpose is, look at the red color box, is to make equal number of rows, right? Equal number of rows, right? If it's not equal number of rows, then what do? Then you will have to do what I'm doing to make equal number of rows. You will have to cut out 5 more. You will have to cut out 5 more rows so that you can have equal number of rows at first and after. Do you understand? Yeah, this one may be a little hard lah, but this is how you do faster, right? Otherwise, guess and check. I don't think guess and check can work. Yeah, so this is called the average model. Okay, Zhening understand, Zhening, Yvette? Okay, all right. So I think if there's no question, any more questions about other questions? Okay, Jordan, any more questions about other questions? No. How about Caleb? Okay, so you can add up your marks and then Celine just like
Okay, I gotta count my marks. Wait, I'll stay here for a while.
You can actually count your marks and see how many marks you get. How about John Hao? John Hao, your brother, right? Is that your brother or something? Yeah, it's a bit blurry. Okay, so how is it? All right, so do you count your marks and see how many marks you get? Paper 1. Now try to get at least 35. Okay, 35, because as we keep doing, yeah, Yvette.
What is question 9?
Question 9. Why are we looking at question 9? Question 9. Question 9. Miss Dong. Okay. Question 9. Okay, question 9 is what's the answer? Your answer should be question 9. Wow, your answer is number 1. Number 1. Okay. All right. Okay, there's no question, then we will end the lesson. All right. So that
my paper one so bad. Help. Okay.
Okay, but how many marks do you get for Caleb in total?
Like super little, because the booklet it pulled me down.
Okay, but is it because of careless mistakes or because you don't know how to do?
I think it's like careless.
okay, you really got to be very hard on yourself and not lose marks because of careless, right? So get the marks, lose the marks because you don't know how to do, right? It's not try to encourage you, be more careful so that you get all the marks you can. Then how about Jordan? Do you add up your marks already?
No, not yet. But I need question 24.
Question 24. Okay, question 24. Okay, hang on. Question 24. Okay, question 24. So you have to go down. Question 24. And okay, your answer is 5 to 7, your before and after model. Okay, whenever you have an age problem, age problem, then it's a before and after question. Then you draw the before and after model. And what is unchanged in the age problem? The difference is always unchanged, all right? Age problem. Okay, Yvette, any question, Yvette?
There's no lesson next week, right?
We still have next Monday no lesson. Okay, next Monday we'll take a break, and then after next Monday we will maybe start doing the 2019 paper 1. Okay, so we will not be doing any more 2021 because 2021 papers are don't test all the topics. You know, right? 2021
So
don't
2019 test all.
2019 and before test all the topics. Everything, speed.
Oh wow.
Everything will be tested. So we will have to stop doing the 2021 papers already. Okay, yeah, Yvette, your hand is pointing up. Okay.
I think I got 38.
Okay, that's very good. All right, try to get at least 35. So Caleb, always try to don't lose your marks because of careless mistake. All right, it's not worth it. Not worth it. And then Jordan, have you counted marks already? Still or haven't counted yet? Okay, hope you're done well also, Jordan. All right, so as we keep doing, hopefully the marks stay at 30 plus. Okay, not getting lesser and lesser, but stay at 30 plus. Right? Your marks should always stay constant, at least more than 30. Okay, and if less than 30, usually is the same mistake. Usually, so you have to revise on the mistakes. Okay, if there's no question, then we will continue next lesson. All right. Okay, so bye Jordan, bye Yvette, and bye Caleb. See you next week. All right, goodbye. See you next week. Okay, bye bye. Okay.